Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is episode 81 of my podcast, Brain Dribble, where I want to know what you think of metal breakdowns. But instead of it being a musical breakdown, it is a mental breakdown. So it's just all the buildup, and then just someone sitting there like in just utter turmoil, just like just all the expression. It's just like this breakdown goes hard as fuck, and it's just some dude sitting there like, let me know what, I don't know, what do you think about that? It's just like in metal, but instead of a breakdown, it's just in their head. I don't know. That's an idea. Something to think about. Something to play around with. Something to just something to keep you up at night. It's something that keeps, things that keep you up at night don't have to be bad. People have this association with things that it'll keep me up. What keeps you up at night? Coffee keeps me up at night. That's not a bad thing. Why is insomnia bad? You're getting less sleep. Like, I'm jealous of people who have insomnia, because I wish that I could be awake for more hours, but I have the opposite problem where I'm just constantly tired. I wish I could just put some more coins into the energy meter. Like when you park your car, then you got to put some coins in. Well, I need to allot. It's like a character, like skill tree. How much money you have, you gotta use some of it to make you sleep worse, because I don't want to be asleep. Nothing's worse though than when you've been awake for a while and then just like your skin starts to be sensitive. You ever just walk around and then you just like realize that you were up for like 24 hours? You ever just accidentally be up for 24 hours and then you're just like, everything is like slightly more irritating mentally and physically? You're just like, no, mentally things start to become more funny when you're sleep deprived. I think nothing is more funny than just being delirious and just like, I want to go to sleep, but you can't. Sleep deprivation is a drug, better than any other drug out there on the market today. Fentanyl, not even close. And you don't have to worry about overdosing, because you'll just fall asleep and then you'll be fine. You might wake up a little groggy, but most likely if you stay up as long as you possibly can, you'll live. So try it out. Try out this new drug called Don't Sleep. Try out this new drug called Stay Awake until you... they say driving drunk and driving tired are like pretty much the same thing. So don't be driving if you're sleep deprived. But I wouldn't do that anyway. I don't ever drive. You ever think about the fact that when you're driving, you're just like risking your life constantly for hours on end? But then we're nervous to get in a plane, or we're nervous to do some like other shit, Like you ever be driving and you're just such in a mental like zone. You're just in this flow state, and you've been driving for like an hour, and then you realize you're driving. You're like, oh shit, I'm driving. I think that people like driving is a different like world. Like you get in your car and then everything is like a video game outside of you. Outside of the car, everything is a video game. And I'm so good at this fucking video game, dude. Like people wish, I wish there was a way to measure how good at driving you were. Because I'm so fucking good at driving. Like you have no idea how many people I've seen do some crazy shit and I didn't crash into them. I should be awarded. You should give me money because I'm not dead. I wish you could drive for a living. I mean, you can, but that's called being a trucker, and being a trucker is to be a trucker, you gotta be like creepy, fat, and a Republican, I guess. This is what you need first. The prerequisites to becoming a truck driver. You have to be 600 pounds. You have to be unkempt, which, I mean, I got that down. I look pretty, not miserable. I look pretty just worn down. I look at myself in the mirror, and like there's this door on the mirror so I can see the side view of my face, and I'm just like, man, I look wrecked. You ever look in the mirror and you're like, oh man, I look wrecked. Because that's how I feel sometimes. Sometimes I just look at myself. One time I walked past the mirror and I was like, oh, gross. Like, just saw me in the mirror, like, oh yeah, nasty, disgusting, pitiful, truly disgusting. The worst thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Just walked past. And I wonder why women don't just fall for me, you know? I wonder why people are just not lining up to date me when I look like a fucking bear. I'm not gay. It's so frustrating. Things would make so much more sense if I was. I wish I was gay just so it all made sense. 'Cause I'm like everything but attracted to men. It's like, I'm a bitch. I'm fucking silly with it. You know, why are these gay attributes to just be a goofball? Why is it gay to kiss a man? It's not. It's not gay to kiss your friends on the lips. I have kissed exactly as many men as I have women, which is 2 and 2. Yeah, this boy doesn't get much action. So I turned to the internet in times of loneliness, because this is the only way out. It appears to be the only way out. And you know what? Sometimes motivation happens backwards, right? Like, I'm sitting here wasting my days, just kind of sitting. And you can only do that for so long before you're like, well, I may as well start making internet content, because why not? Boom, dude. I'm a fucking murderer, and you just watch me get my rocks off. You ever kill a bug and you're like conflicted because it didn't do anything wrong and you just took away a life? Like, every time we got to kill in New Jersey, in the Northeast area, invasive species, the spotted lanternfly, you got to kill them if you see them, and it's fun to just watch all their guts spray everywhere. Dude, no bug has a better crunch than a spotted lanternfly, okay? You step on one of those boys and you just hear delicious. Not to eat. Fun to play with, not to eat. I like stepping on bugs because I'm a psychopath. I'm basically Jeffrey Dahmer. Except I'm not gay and I kill bugs. So not at all like Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, gay and kills humans. Why is that like an equally important part? I didn't watch the fucking show, so I don't really care. Because don't you like how they just brought back a serial killer for entertainment? Like, Jeffrey Dahmer is not like culturally relevant, but they saw true crime podcasts numbers and was like, we got to do something about this. Let's make a show exploiting the families of Jeffrey Dahmer and just fucking exploiting the families of the people who were killed by Jeffrey Dahmer. It's not, I bet the family of Jeffrey Dahmer would, would love some money for what their kid did. Imagine that. You think the parents of Jeffrey Dahmer got paid? Well, they're probably dead. If they're not dead, do you think they got paid? Imagine you give birth to one of the most notorious serial killers in history, and they make a docu-series about it, and you make bank as the parents. It's like, how conflicted. There's that's bloody money in the most literal sense. I mean, all I did was fucking squirt into this bitch, and then she gave birth to this fucking nasty man. Nasty man. I just think that's weird that, like, he wasn't... Jeffrey Dahmer, the last time I thought about him, probably over a year ago. Probably, maybe even 2 years. But the fact that they decided that in 2022, it was time for the public to learn. Who the fuck, like, do you ever look at the news and be like, who's making us talk about all this shit? Like, what are we talking? What's in the news this week? Jeffrey Dahmer and Kanye West. If I hear another person talk about Kanye West, which is ironic because I'm doing it right now. If I hear another person utter that man's name, I'm going to fucking kill him. I'm going to pull a Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm going to kill him and fuck their corpse. Because there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason to have said that. There's no because there. The whole improv of this show is that everything has a reason. There's always every rule has a story, Like Christianity, right? If you die, you go to heaven. So like someone's mom died and they were like really sad about that. But you're like, well, she's in heaven. So what if I die too? Then I'll be in heaven with her. So they made a rule in Christianity, though, that if you kill yourself, you go to hell. Probably because people were killing themselves to try and be with their dead relatives. It's like, wait, don't do that. That's not gonna work. Can't skip ahead. So I just think it's stupid, dude. Like, who gives a fuck about any of this shit? If I hear another person talk about Kanye West and all of his bright ideas, I might just have to slap them. I might have to just sock them. You ever think about how the word bust, like the word bust is so versatile. There's so many things that it can mean. Like, I'll bust your balls if we're having a conversation. I'll bust a nut if I'm fucking, I don't get laid. So if I'm jerking it, if I'm fucking cranking my dick, I'll bust a nut. You could also bust a case, like a illegal. You're busted, That's no good. You could bust a move on the dance floor. If someone took a bus somewhere, you could say that they were bussed there. That's one of my favorite things. This is a good dad joke to do. If anyone ever says like the word bust, you could be like, oh, to where? Bust to where? If someone says someone's bussin', it's the past tense. Once it stops bussin', it bust. I don't know. It's a good word, bust. You know, it's got all the sounds. It's crisp. Bust. You know, pretty good. Pretty good. Word review. That's a new segment I'll do. A word review. Hey man, bust means a lot of things. So that means it's a good word. And if it only means one thing, then that's a bad word. Because in my reality, a good word is a word that can be used in many different ways and shapes and forms. And you know me, I just like playing with words. That's all I'm trying to do here on this earth. Is just say something some way that no one said it before. That's my favorite fucking thing in the whole shitty place. I like it. Yes, sir. So, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, they don't want you to know that Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't real. They're bringing him back up in the limelight of the public eye because they want people to be scared of gay people. And it's just completely bullshit to me, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think it's complete bullshit that they would make up a story as horrific as the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary, because we all know it's fake. You're not tricking me. I don't believe anything I see. I don't believe anything I see. Everybody's always telling you what to think, you know? Why? What's the motive there? Money? We're going to make a show about murdering people, and you're going to watch it because you like... It's voyeurism. You can't kill people, so watch this dude do it, and it'll make you happy because you have urges that you should really talk to somebody about. And the fact that you haven't talked to somebody about it is really concerning. It's of the utmost importance to me to try and save you before you do anything to hurt yourself. So, but hey, man, if you do choose to act on those urges that you feel to just like kill somebody and fuck their corpse, if you do decide to take action on those impulses, you'll become like a legend. People will be talking about you for decades. People will love you. You'll be celebrated. You'll be made into a movie. You want to be a movie star? Kill someone. That's America. I'm not good at going out of the way to get things. You know, I need to find backdoor entrances to ideas. You know, I need somebody to find out about me through what I did. But if I can't do anything cool, if this isn't cool enough, I guess I'm going to have to... You forced my hand, America. This podcast's numbers are pathetic. Okay? It's not working. This thing, this whole setup we got here, it's going nowhere. All right? You forced my hand, America. If you don't want to take my comedic stylings into account, if you don't want to pay me for my thoughts, I might just have to kill a bitch. This podcast is going nowhere. I'll just sit here once a week and talk about nothing. And nobody listens. I'm talking about nothing to no one. So I may as well kill someone. Because at this point, my name... I don't know how to go viral any other way, honestly. America has forced my hand. The only way to become popular is to kill a fucking family of 5. Gotta kill all of them. Yep. That's mom, dad, Jimmy, Billy, and Frederick. And you know, just for his name being so stupid, I'm gonna make his death the longest and most painful. This is all jokes. I don't want you to think that I'm not gonna. Don't worry. I won't kill anyone. Don't worry about me. But I don't know if you're willing to risk it. If you're willing to risk people knowing you killed someone, you know, if you're willing to let the world know that you killed someone because you did, then you kind of deserve to be famous. That's fucking bold. That's bold as hell, and I respect it. Murder is a business move, which is actually true at the bottom and top level. I want to be famous, so I'm going to kill someone, or I am so wealthy that this person's existence threatens my money, so I'm going to just have them killed. Why are we supposed to, and truly, why would we listen to anyone else besides the people at the top? Because that's how they got to the top. So I want to be at the top, so I guess I got to kill someone. It's fucked up. And there's no other way to do it. That's the only way. The only way to become famous in America, the only way to get a TV show made nowadays, you got to kill a few people. And be like, look, here's this really cool idea for a show. All right, this dude goes around killing people. And we're just going to follow him around like a documentary. You know, like a Vice documentary, but they follow around a serial killer and they just film. It's like, we don't support this person's choices. You know, we blur out everything because we don't want you to see, but we are going to follow around this person. We are going to allow them to murder people in front of us. And we're going to film it. But this is just a documentary. It's just to document this person and what he does, you know, because there are people out there who do things that we may not agree with, There are people out there who do things that you don't appreciate, such as taking lives. And you just saying stop isn't enough, okay? The best way to do it is to just spread awareness about these types of people. The types of people, you know, minor attracted people. Then there's people who want to kill people. It's just it's a spectrum. Everybody's on the rainbow. Where do you fall on it? You know, that's just my thing. Sorry, I can't come unless someone dies. I didn't choose to be built this way. It's just the reality of my situation. Look, like who? All right, so but like. Realistically, though, who's sitting in the writer's room, the executive's office, and said, you know what people haven't thought about in a while that they really should start? You know what would strike fear into the hearts of Americans and make them more likely to stay inside? Because that's the narrative, right? They just want you to stay inside and just breathe safe air. Well, I don't clean, so this air is pretty dusty. So I got an air purifier, which I've checked. It doesn't gather anything in the filter. I've never emptied it. It's just a white noise machine, really. That's all it is. What does it do? It takes out... It's just dust is going to gather. You know what I do with dust? I just push it off my desk. And then I'll vacuum it later. I don't dust. Fuck that. Dusting is for bitches, okay, who can't handle some dead skin cells. What's the big deal? What's the deal with dust? It's dead skin cells, bro. You scared to breathe in your own? I have a habit of smelling my hands. I like to my weird thing is I like to use soap and then smell my hands after. I'm just constantly like this. And because of a good smell. So I'm if dust is just dead skin cells, then I'm just breathing in all the scraps I can get. You know what I like to do? I like to take, when you see some dust gathering on your desk, if you see some like pencil shavings or like just, dust of any sort on your desk, you got to take a credit card. You got to like line it up and cut it. And then you got to snort that shit. You ever boof the dust? So here's what I do. Take a long, bendy, silly straw, right? One of those ones that goes loop, 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 loop. And you fill it, you pack it with dust, okay? You put one end of it in your asshole and the other end in your mouth. Okay, here's two options. One of them is you blow the dust in your asshole, right? The other is, now I've thought of a different idea, okay? If you have you gotta eat Domino's pizza and drink a lot of beer the night before, okay? So you have this shit with a consistency. If you've ever had Domino's pizza and a lot of beer, your shit in the morning, it just kind of crumbles out of you, right? It's just it's not a liquid, but it is noticeable. Domino's has its own brand of shit. That's just what it is. Domino's Pizza, please sponsor me so that I can inform the world about your shits. Because a lot of people talk about Taco Bell shits. A lot of people talk about just fast food shit. No one ever talks about Domino's Pizza shits, okay? This thing will make your bathroom smell for a week, okay? And God forbid you had any beer along with it, okay? It's just this cloudy consistency that it just crumbles out of you, and then you're sitting there smelling all of it, just the fumes. You're just like, wow, that was not healthy last night. So you take the straw and then you put one end of it in your butt and one end of your mouth. And what you have to do is shit. So it starts going up the straw. But then on the other end that gets in your mouth, you have to blow back. So have you ever seen that, that Japanese game show where there's a tube and there's a roach in the tube? And it is your job. You get two sides of this tube and you got to try and blow the roach into the other person's mouth. It's kind of like that, but with your ass and your mouth. And you just you did try to blow the shit back into your asshole with only your lung power. And then you can play a more challenging version of this, which is where you're upside down. So you have to fight gravity as well. Oh man, that just made me think of the Jackass stunt that they fucking shit in the tube and he fucking just puked everywhere. That's great. I love that one. If everybody was me, first off, if everyone was me, this would be the last generation. Because I don't fuck. I think I'm scared. I don't think I can do it anymore. I got the ick recently. not to be too descriptive, but there was an experience that I had where I've never had this thought before, right? And I'll just say the thought. Oh, I'm never gonna fuck this person. This is never gonna happen now. Yeah. So I found out that men can get the ick too. And 90% of the thing that would make me get the ick is probably a dick. Like that would probably be a deal breaker. I think if I showed up one day and it was just it's a bitch with a giant cock, I'd probably have to be like, I'm sorry, but I for that reason I'm out. Like, I'm a shark on Shark Tank, and you need to sell me on your tranny cock. Sorry, is that not an appropriate word? We don't say tranny anymore. Why? Tranny just means like transitioning, transitional skateboarding. You know, as opposed to street. It's skateboarding. There's street skateboarding and there's tranny skateboarding. You know, you're fucking street. You know, she belongs to the streets. Or there's something there. You see what I'm doing, right? You see the cogs moving in my brain. Just couldn't figure out the way to make it though. That's such a frustrating thing that you can only get if you're on my wavelength. It's just to watch me try and like tie two things together. It's like, okay, skateboarding. There's street and transition, or there's street and like, yeah, it's tranny. Right? Vert. I don't fucking know. I give up. Fine. Street bitches. Versus, so yeah, okay, so so we're on Shark Tank, right? I'm the shark. You need to convince me to invest in your tranny cock, and and I'm just not sold. Like, okay, here's the thing: if we get down to brass tacks, okay. I started swiping on like dating apps based on a new criteria. Is would I munch the box? And you know what I did? I deleted dating apps. Because what I found out was there are very few people who I'm like, oh, let me go down there. Let me go downstairs. Pronto. You know, I think I'm just a fucking prude. Goals you gotta work on, right? Trying to stop watch porn, bro. That shit's not good for the brain. And everybody knows, but it's like, well, I have no alternative, you know? It's not like I have anybody to just so disrespectful. It's not like I have anyone to just nut in like that, you know? So I gotta turn to alternative outside sources. I need to outsource my nut, okay? That's just the way it's been for most of my life. From a lot of people, I'm sure you can relate. Because who would watch this except also an incel? I'm not an incel. I'm just saying... I'm trying to back my way out of this. Dig myself out of this hole that I dug for myself. I gotta dig out. I gotta dig you out. I'm gonna get on the floor, bitch. I'm gonna dig you out. What? Finally got a call from a girl I want to dig out. You know, I never thought about my dick as a shovel, but now I have. And And now I'm just thinking about a pussy as a ditch. What the fuck is this metaphor, iced cube? I was really gonna say iced tea. I know who I'm talking about. Listen, you need to come to me straight with the facts, son. You need to tell me exactly what you're talking about. Finally got a call from a girl I wanted to dig out. Yeah. Now I'm just, yeah. Cock's a shovel, pussy's a ditch. Dig it. Dig that shit up. No, there's nothing. If we get down to brass tacks, I feel like I've started like 4 different this is what the podcast is. You know it already. It's episode 81. I don't know how I would so if someone was born a woman and then but like also for some reason had a dick, I'd probably be down with it. If I could get a bitch with a dick, but it's not a if it's not a trans woman, I'd be cool with it. What the fuck am I saying? I just need a woman with a massive cock, but not a trans woman. Does that make sense? I guess a lot of women do have big cocks because they're silicone, you know? I don't want to be fucked. But if a girl had a cock, I'd probably suck it. It seems like I feel like I need to know you real well cause I feel like I just don't know you well enough to munch the box. You know, you gotta have a nice face. I gotta really like your face. And that's what it is. And it's hard to find people like that. So I'm giving up. I give up looking. I tried. It's not worth it. I've used dating apps many times. I thought about it. I'm like, what if I try Tinder? Maybe this time. Yeah, I'll try Tinder for a week again and match with no one, and then match with someone who's like really pretty, and then they're either promoting their Snapchat or OnlyFans, or they just don't respond. Wouldn't it be nice if people use dating apps for dating? It's like, is the assumption, is it wrong to assume that if you match with somebody on a dating app that they want to go out on a date with you? Because apparently it is. If you listen, this is a PSA to everybody who uses dating apps. If you swipe right on someone, you would go on a date with them, right? If not, you should have swiped left. But there's all these other alternative motivations. Like for a man who is of my caliber, you'll get maybe 3 likes. So your incentive is to swipe right on everyone just to see what your options are. And you know what? It's never good. It's never a good time. Dating apps, never a good time. That should be their slogan. It's frustrating. So my solution is to just, I guess I am an incel. In the most literal sense, I forego dating apps because it appears to me that nobody wants me. And let me just say that they're missing out, you know? I'd be like, oh, and you know what was great? It was on Hinge. 2 people suggested to me a date idea. And me trying to follow up and do that date idea gets curved 2 out of 2 times. I don't understand. What did I do wrong except the pursuit of a date. I guess I should stop trying. It's like the backdoor entrance to incel, to being an incel. It's just like, well, you guys, women, you've hurt my feelings enough. I'm no longer gonna go swiping looking for one of you. Okay? I need a I need a girl to fucking come after me. Cause why can't you just know what you want? Why do I have to do it? Why do I have to be the one who's like, cause then I just think I'm creepy because I don't want to be like just another guy trying to fuck. You know, I sometimes you say something to someone and they're like, man, you should talk to your shrink about that one. And I'm like, I don't have a shrink. And they're like, okay. I'm like, I don't have a shrink. I only come in one size. One size fits all. That's me, baby. I only know how to be me. Why would I talk to a shrunk version of myself about this issue? Am I to believe truly that everyone except me has a tiny version of themselves that they can consult? Your shrink. The shrunk version of yourself. Just over there. God, that would be cool. Because you don't realize how you are to other people until you see yourself in someone doing something that you really don't like that they're doing to you. It's such a very specific thing. But sometimes you don't realize the bad things that you do until someone does a bad thing to you. And you're like, oh, that's what it's been like to be around me. That's pretty shitty. Is this making sense or is this all too vague? You know what? Good. I hope it is. I hope it's too vague. I hope you listen to this podcast and you're just like, what is he even on about? What's he on about? What's going on? What's going on? You ever look at someone and wonder what is going inside their head? Jesus. Yeah, dude. I don't have a fucking shrink. I don't need one. This is my shrink. This camera, you in there, all youth people inside of the camera, behind that lens. I'm talking to you. And I would just wanted to say what's up. Just thought I'd say hi, see how it's going, check in. I don't ever check in with you guys. You know, you're always checking in on me, technically. If you listen to this, you're just like checking in on me, seeing how I'm doing. Well, I want to know how you're doing. Leave a comment. Let me know. Tell me how you are. Leave a review. Leave a review for the podcast. Just tell me how you're doing. How's your day? I want all the reviews of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, okay? If you haven't reviewed this podcast yet, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Tell me how you are. How's your day? Just talk about your day in the reviews. Just talking about a bunch of people just talking about their day. I had a shitty day. 1 star. It's like, yeah. I want the reviews for this podcast to be a review of your day because that's more important. Truly, that's the really important stuff. I want to know how you're doing. I had a great day today. 5 stars. I had a good day until I found out that I was pregnant. 3 stars. You know? That's pretty good. I like that. What's the best way to kill a baby? Knife. I successfully talked about nothing this episode. And that's the good shit. That's the shit that we're like, more of that, you know? Because the moment that you start having a real opinion, because I'm sick. I feel like half this podcast is me talking about how I don't keep up with the Kardashians anymore. Like I used to pretend I cared and I just don't. I just don't give a fuck what's Courtney's doing. I don't know. And you know what? It's great. It's really weird to get into these like semantic arguments with people about like whether or not people should have the right to say something on a social media because it can influence the young generation. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. It's more interesting now to see like who they're silencing and why, because there are genuinely people on the internet who will think that there's something that is truthful. And they'll start to think bad things. So I'm almost like, I understand the notion of dangerous thoughts, but I just wish everybody was able to think for themselves, because people are officially not able to do that. That's no longer a thing that we do as people. Think, no one knows how. My recommendation, delete all social media. Sometimes I go on my phone because, you know, it's just like habitual to go on your phone while you're waiting for something. I go and check rewards, bro. Let's see if I could get a free coffee today. I dead ass open my phone when I'm waiting in line. I'm like, I don't know what to do, so I'll just see if I have any rewards. That's what I've resorted to with no Twitter, no Instagram, no TikTok, none of that. I don't even have Snapchat anymore. Fuck that shit. FOMO is a dick. I don't like him. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like at some point, sort of like giving up on dating and becoming, just embracing your incel at heart. The incel at heart. Just embrace him and love him. You kind of got to do the same thing with social media at some point. At some point, you can spend the first 23 years of your life just like scrolling and then realize, man, I'm bored of this. You ever just, dude, I've been unsubscribing from all my like subscriptions on YouTube because I just got increasingly more and more bored watching it. So I'm just like, I feel like I've seen every YouTube video. I'm doing the writing. I'm planning for this mural. I'm going to make it into a video. I'm like, I made my room into a giant mural type shit. And when I'm thinking about writing the video, I'm literally just like closing my eyes and watching a YouTube video in my head. And I'm like, all right, that's what it'll be. Because at this point, a YouTube video is just so unsurprising that you gotta, I could write one. So you ever like dreaming or like really fucked up or something, and you're just like imagining a movie and you're kind of just like watching a movie in your head? Do you ever just, am I crazy? Am I crazy or am I right? Do you ever just watch a movie in your head? Do you ever just listen to the best song you've ever heard in your head? Sometimes if I don't have music playing, which I do right now, I'll just be sitting there like, and I'm like, yeah. And I just make up songs. And I'm like, I'm a genius. Like, I don't even need music anymore. I've heard all. I don't know. That's something that I think about. And that's the new way that I've approached making YouTube videos, is to just like, well, watch the complete version in your head and then make it happen. That's all it is. Somebody with a very vivid imagination. I think I'm very in touch with mine. How in touch are you with your imagination? This is my advice to you, okay? If you really want the truth, you need to become isolated. Force yourself into isolation to truly figure out who you are, because you slowly start to realize that no one else's opinion matters at all, because you're always going to be alone in your own head. And the longer that you spend trying to appease the people in your life, the more distant you will become from yourself. And the only way to become more in touch with who you are is to just be alone, without outside influence, without people on social media telling you what to think, you know? And what you'll notice, at least I did, is that the world is a lot less argumentative. You'll have arguments in your head, but they'll be way more reasonable, unless you're a fucking crazy person. I get it. I just get it, okay? And you're just not on my level. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be on my level. In fact, I want you to be jealous. Keep watching. Yes. Keep watching. Keep watching me think, because don't let social media people tell you who to think. Don't let people tell you what to think. Let me tell you what to think, because I'm not people. I'm just person. And I actually have your best interest at heart. Trust me. Trust me. Let me take the ideas that I have. Let me just take them, bottle up your ideas, and just market the ideas. And the ideas will go from my mouth and lungs and tongue. Tongue's very important for pronouncing words and creating ideas in the audio form. I take my ideas, spread them like butter on toast, like jelly and peanut butter. You ever had peanut butter on jelly? Peanut butter on jelly. You ever take jelly? That's the base, and then you just put peanut butter on it. Peanut butter and jelly, no bread. You fucking put them both in a bowl, and you eat peanut butter and jelly, because that's what I thought it was for the longest time. Peanut butter and jelly, you know, mac and cheese. Who's Mac? Mac. Try to think of anything. You just watched me trying to think of a Mac that wasn't macaroni. You ever have peanut butter and jelly on toast? Like you toast the bread first, and then it gets all liquid. It's good. It's good. You should try it. I figured out. I've spent years of my life perfecting the peanut butter and jelly. Okay? Here's what you got to do. You got to go to the store, buy Dave's Killer White Bread. Okay? Because we like a little quality or perceived quality. I think it's vegan. Maybe it'll be vegan. Vegans, if you want to eat this, you can. Then you get Bon Maman wild blueberry preserves. The little boy in the little, and then you get fucking any old peanut. You get fucking Skippy. You put the toast. That's not toast. But the bread is just pre-toast. It hasn't been toasted yet. It's just gotta become a little crunchier. What if they just sold? They do sell crunchy boys. They'd sell toast, and it's pretty good. You take the bread, you put it in the toaster, you toast the bread, and then you make it's fucking peanut butter and jelly on toast. I don't need to tell you how to make it, but I do because you're that dumb. So yeah, dude, at some point you gotta have self-respect and just free your mind from the garbage, because there's plenty of people telling you that all the internet stuff is garbage and is poisoning your mind. And you read that article and then you go back to scrolling Twitter like you learned nothing. How about you fucking listen? How about you fucking put your 2 shoes on, tie them up real nice, Okay? Go for a walk. Touch some fucking grass, bro. Blades of Grass by Walt Whitman. Write some fucking poetry in a cabin, for God's sake. All right? You got time, and you're wasting it. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you still are, please feel free to share it with someone who you think might also enjoy it. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Tell me how your day was. Just leave a 1-star review if you had a bad day, okay? I don't give a fuck. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Fucking bye. You think you can... I got places to be. I'm trying to get out of here. And you're still here? Listen, dude, I didn't think you'd still be around, okay? I told you to go. I said that I wanted to go. I thought we were done here. But apparently the silence means encore. So we're going for a victory lap, okay? I'm gonna tell you a little secret, okay? I like toes. It's the concept, not the actual things. I like them. That's a good word. Toes. Look, what the fuck are they? They balance you. They're little. If you took a foot, okay, which we can agree that a foot is like pre-sliced bread, okay? It's just a loaf. And then you make some incisions at the front of it. That's what toes are. Toes are just sliced bread.